hot chocolate and hot dogs. Twice the size of this room.
Hello, three bitches.
Hello, right. So very quickly, this is Rob Smith from Bigrainbowdesigns. Quick video to, well, basically this is to give all of you that have ever asked and may ask in the future what it is that I do. To those of you that don't know me, my name's Rob Smith. I'm an artist. That's one of my pieces in front of you. It's a 2 foot by 3 foot acrylic on canvas painting. Nothing special there, you might say. Okay. What I am going to point out to you though is there's a couple of obvious things here. I'm changing the lighting. That is as a result of something I found a while back when I had a couple of my paintings set up on my easels, and as I was watching TV, which was over in the other corner, the different changing lighting and seemed to create different perspectives in the painting and made things jump out that I've not seen before. Now, to clarify, when I go to a canvas, most of the time I don't go with any idea of what it is I'm about to do. I am a reiki practitioner. I use meditation, mindfulness, breathing techniques in order to get me to a place where my brain's uncluttered basically, and I'm allowed to freely express myself on a canvas. And the results, I can't really claim. You know, people have tried to explain. I've spoken to lots of people about what's going on here, but I'm leaving that up to your own imagination. Anyway, just me clarifying, as I said, a few things to people, and I'm going to point these things out because they're not obvious. When I was a kid, back in the 80s and the 90s, there was something which we called magic eye posters, and that was a series of hundreds, thousands of different coloured dots that would, when you kind of squinted a little bit, focused, you'd suddenly see an image that you had not noticed before. It'd be a really basic image. Well, that's kind of the same, for those of you that know what I'm talking about, that's kind of the same principle of what's going on here. And as with that, once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. So that's why I don't like to name my paintings. I'm much more interested in what you see in them, what people, you know, I spend a lot of time. I'm lucky to be able to look at my paintings under these different lights and everything else. But when people point stuff out to me that I'd not noticed before, that's pretty cool for me. And as I say, in this circumstance, I'm going to cheat a little bit, but very often there's a lot of stuff. I've seen in the region of about 20-25 different faces and features and figures, and they basically all add up to a story. And as I say, that's why I'd prefer for you to see what you see in it and make up your own story. But I'm going to point out some what I consider to be really obvious things, and the first one is this lady here, kind of a Joan of Arc figure looking up towards the chap you might have seen before in a robe, hooded robe with a staff there, kind of stood on this mountain. I tried to pick it up there and it's really tricky, but there's loads of faces. There's even a bird in there. There's a phoenix which ties into the tail of the dragon. But this lady, it's all going on around here because, as you may be able to see, if you imagine that's her head looking up there, her boob turns into the brow of this girl down here. You see an eye and an eyebrow and a nose there, and there's also somebody stood behind her. That's his right shoulder and head and nose, and you might be able to make out this kind of wings going on there. But the other cool thing is that boob stroke shoulder turns into the skull, back of his head there. There's an ear and an eye socket and a nose, and that's his mouth. That's kind of being a bit obscured. And that then ties into this kind of cone-headed geezer. And can you see that? So that's his jaw, eye. There's an ear there, and I don't know whether I pointed out, but there's a kind of an alien grey going on over there as well. Anyway, as I say, I want to keep this pretty short, but if you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch, or any comments, and I will put some links to the music from Christian. Thank you, and again, thanks to the guys from Luminaires for supplying me with the lighting. So please enjoy the painting. Thank you.
Hello, sweet bitches.
Hot chocolate and hot dogs, twice the size of this room. Hot chocolate and hot dogs, twice the size of this room.
witches.